All right, how's everybody doing? I am Kenny Dennis. I will be your instructor for today, and welcome to our mini class where we're going to be discussing the differences between a tax preparation business and a tax planning business, and really showing you guys the benefits, the good things, the not so good things, what you can kind of worry about, and really how that business is structured so you understand which might make more sense for you and what you're looking at. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop to my iPad. This is going to be an iPad type presentation where I'm going to be writing and kind of breaking down everything so you guys understand exactly the way everything works and you guys can feel good about it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to my iPad right now. So basically what we're going to be going over today is we're going to be going over the business model of a tax prep and a tax planning business. We're going to be going over the pricing. What exactly can you charge clients for your services? We're going to be going over the types of clients. What type of clients would you be going after if you own either which or of these businesses? Then as well, we're going to kind of discuss which is better, which is, obviously a subjective conversation, but I'm going to kind of dig into what I've seen and what we've done over the years and kind of, lay everything out and you guys can kind of make that decision for yourself. Okay. So let's first describe the business model of a tax prep business. So a tax prep business is a business where basically from January to April, you are filing tax returns for clients. So that can be simple W-2, 1040 tax returns for W-2 employees or different things like that. Everybody has a basic tax return. Then as well, you can have 1120s, which are business returns. So basically, this business is you are simply filing a tax return for customers. We call this tax compliance. You have to be in compliance with the US government to make sure that you are keeping track of all your income, filing documentation, then sending that to the IRS. And therefore, that's how we pay taxes, right? So that is essentially a tax preparation business. To do this business, usually you're going to see people with a C-Tech license. So it is license based, okay? People who are CPAs, okay? So these are the types of people who are able to file a tax return for clients. So this type of business, again, is from January to April. Obviously, if you file an extension, you can help those clients basically file after the deadline. But your main concern is filing tax returns for customers, not helping them save on taxes or anything like that. Simply filing tax returns is your main goal. And you're going to be working usually from January to April, obviously a little overtime if you are filing extensions for your clients. Okay. So it's going to be a very, very work intensive type deal. It's a seasonal type business that you're doing, and it's very much so volume based. So when it comes to tax planning, a tax planning business, let's look at that. Okay, so a tax planning business, what is the overall goal with this business? So with this business, you are strategically helping clients lower their tax liability. So in layman terms, you're helping them cut their tax bill, okay? Helping clients cut their tax bill. Okay. So that's your overall concern with the tax planning business. All right. So this can be done all year around. And basically, when it comes to licenses, you don't need one to do this. And then as well, what your main duty is you're leveraging the tax laws to help clients save on money. That is your core overall job. That's what you're doing. Okay. So you're literally looking at a person's tax return. You're seeing areas of opportunity where they can save on taxes, and you're utilizing the tax code and giving them recommendations. Okay. So think of it as a doctor. If you come in with the flu and you have symptoms and different things like that, I'm recommending medication based on what your symptoms are. That's what you're essentially doing with the tax planning business. All you're doing is recommending. You're not implementing any strategies, which you can implement for them, but your overall goal is you're just creating a document where you're recommending strategies, and based on those strategies that you're going to give them, you can estimate that it might be a possible tax savings of 50, 75, maybe 100, maybe $500,000 in tax savings, depending on the revenue, the strategies you implement, and different things like that. Okay. So those are basically the two types of businesses that we're looking at. Now let's look at the pricing. So when it comes to basically the pricing, right, for tax prep, you're going to tend to see lower pricing. The reason that you're going to see that, so you can do tax returns anywhere between $300, if that, all the way up to $1,500, if that, honestly. So the reason why tax prep is a low ticket business is because it's a commodity based business. So what does that mean? That means basically, if you've seen those commercials for TurboTax, where they're telling people, get your taxes done for free. You have H&R Block's commercials talking about get your taxes done for free, or pay $69 or $50 or whatever the case may be. Everybody in the United States needs to file a tax return, right? It's like when you go to a grocery store, everybody has to eat. That's why when you go to a grocery store, you're making decisions based off price, because it's a commodity, it's readily available. When things are readily available, you know, you're looking at price. That's the way that you're making decisions. As per Rolls Royces, where those are not as readily available, you don't mind paying a higher ticket price because it's exclusive. You see what I'm saying? So in tax preparation, it's a very, very tough business, because you're competing with every Joe Schmo who thinks they can file their own tax returns, because you have your self-doers who are going to do their own tax returns. Then you have people who basically own tax businesses and national franchises who are charging literally nothing. So you're working extreme amount of hours, you know, long hours during the year, during tax season. You're working long hours and making pennies on the dollar. That's what you're really doing, because during tax season, everybody needs their taxes done. So you're gonna get a monsoon of people, but you're gonna be getting paid pennies and be exhausted from the process. You're just not being compensated enough. It's just a commodity-based business, okay? So now let's look at tax planning, which is my favorite. So when it comes to tax planning, your pricing is based on value-based pricing. So what does that mean? That means basically, if you're looking at a person's tax returns and you can estimate that you can save them over $50,000, or let's just keep it simple, $100,000, right? You can basically take a percentage of savings, which might be 10%, equaling $10,000. That's just for one client, $10,000. So you can do percentage pricing if you would like to. Then as well, you can just do a flat fee. We see our flat fee price anywhere between $5,000 and $7,500. I personally like percentage-based pricing, because you can see some pretty astronomical numbers, and it's very easy to sell to the client, because all you're telling them is, hey, I'm just taking a percentage of what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? It's very easy to sell. So now with tax planning, this is a business where you can do year-round. It won't take you more than maybe, depending on the client, 5 hours for the work. And you're getting paid anywhere between, you know, pretty astronomical prices of kind of what I was telling you about, anywhere between $5,000 to $7,500 if you're just doing, you know, base pricing. If you're doing percentage-based pricing, I've seen clients close up to $45,000 per deal. So now with this type of business, you only really need to have, you know, if you want to create a simple $10,000 business, you really only need 2 clients a month. That's it. Instead of in a tax preparation business, you got to have a license. You got to have all this infrastructure to handle the volume to even get to 10,000. If you're just doing simple $300 tax returns, you know how many clients it would take you to get to 10,000? A lot. So that's the difference between tax compliance when it comes to tax preparation and tax strategy, where you're helping people save on taxes, and it's a value-based business. It's not a commodity-based business. You see what I'm saying? So you can charge based on value. If you're telling me you're going to be able to save me $10,000 or 50 grand or 100 grand, why wouldn't I pay you $10,000? That would be crazy if I didn't, because it just makes sense, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the types of clients that we're looking at. Okay. So types of clients. Okay. So when it comes to the types of clients for this kind of business, when it comes for tax prep, you're looking at simple W-2 employees. They just want their taxes filed, very simple, very easy. As well, you can have business returns for business owners. These you could charge a little bit more, but still you have companies like TurboTax, H&R Block that are now saying they could do business returns and they could do them at a very, very low cost. So again, returns are just very commodity based. So even with the business return, those prices are starting to be driven down. So that's just kind of what you're looking at. So you're looking at more W-2 employees, everyday person who's working. Those will be your type of clients. Then a lot of small business owners who are looking for some simple business filings of tax returns. Okay. Now, who are your types of clients for a tax planning business? Okay. So when it comes to tax planning, you're working strictly with business owners. Okay. You are working with people who have a high net worth. Okay. You're working with people who have a tax bill and they've already worked with a CPA. Okay. So the last part is very, very important. They've already worked with the CPA. See, a lot of people that come into this mini class, they think that they need to have a license or a degree or different things like that. That's not the case. When we're working with certain type of clients, we call these easy clients. So when you have a client who's already worked with the CPA, which we've already talked about, right? When you're a CPA, you just focus on tax compliance. You aren't focusing on tax strategy where you're helping clients lower their tax bill. So when you are working and approaching clients, if they've already worked with the CPA and they still have a large tax bill, they're thinking to themselves, obviously my CPA isn't doing everything he needs to do for me. And basically they're not satisfied with what's going on. So think about this. If you have a headache, right? And you've gone through modern medicine, you've gone to the doctor, they're giving you Tylenol, this, that, whatever, and it hasn't worked. And you finally make the decision of, you know what, let me go see a holistic doctor who can recommend me something different. When you get to that doctor, you're not asking them if they have a license. You're looking for another solution because traditional solutions didn't work. So that's the area that we're playing in when it comes to this business. And that's why people are making so much money with the trainings that I'm telling them, is because we're playing in this area where they've already worked the CPA. They haven't had success. So when they come to you, they don't even ask that, nor do you need that qualification. You just need to understand the tax law, which is what we teach. That's why the success rate of people who come through this course is so high, because those are the type of clients that you go after. And the crazy part about it is over 70% of potential clients have already worked with the CPA. So it's not a small market, it's a massive market. People have traditionally worked with accountants and CPAs. It's pretty mass market. So when you come to them and you approach them, they're more than willing to work with you. Okay, so these are the type of clients that you're going to be going after. Then our last key point is going to be which is better. And it really depends on, what you're looking for. For me personally, and what I like and what a lot of our students like, is with tax planning, you can charge higher fees, right? Higher fees. Don't need license, degree, or experience. With tax prep, you do. It's a year-round business. You can do it off of a laptop and phone. And basically, you don't have to work with as many clients, low number of clients, which is nice. Because when you're in a tax prep business, and let's say you're running a virtual tax preparation business, there's a lot of stress that comes with that, because you have deadline dates where things that need to be done at a certain time, clients are asking where their tax returns are. There's a lot of things that go into that business that are stressful. For me and for a lot of the people that I work with, you want a business where you can just basically, get 2 to 3 clients a month, do around $15,000 to $20,000, make around $120,000 a year, and have your time. So for example, if you're only spending 4 hours on a tax plan, you have 3 clients a month, that's 12 hours. The rest of the hours you're enjoying your life and you're truly having, freedom for yourself. So when it comes to living that type of life, this type of business offers that. Again, you don't need the license, the tech, all that type of stuff. We'll teach you that within our 3-hour boot camp that you're going to be able to join, which is very, very important. Okay. So again, as you guys are going through this training, I'm very much so excited, but for me to really get deeper and show you more or less, how do you actually close your first client without you having any credibility, right? How do you basically provide the client a great service and a great finished product if you don't have a licensed degree or experience? And how do you consistently close clients day in and day out? That's what our free workshop is going to really dig into and teach you, because this is more or less high level type stuff, but I want to get into more the nitty gritty so you know how to execute the tax planner. What does it even look like? How do I close my first client with that experience? How do I consistently do it day in and day out where it's a methodical process where I don't have to think about it? So again, make sure you guys click on the link below, or there's a link around here where you guys can basically register for that 3-hour boot camp, where it's going to be a conversation with myself, and I'm going to just be teaching and really digging into all the information and really going into extreme detail on what you guys need to do. It's going to be the best 3 hours you guys have ever spent. Okay. So thank you so much. Again, I am Kenny Dennis. Thank you for watching this mini course, and I can't wait to see you on that boot camp. Take care.